Moin people, what's going on? Welcome back to the Nerd Crate. I hope everybody had a good start to the week. I know I did. So for today, we're finally, it's been a long time coming, I had a lot to build on these guys, going to review the Bandai Real Grade 1-144. 1-144? Yeah, that's correct. EVA-00 Deluxe Positron Cannon set, and the usual one that's a little bit more bare bones, but nevertheless quite nice, because you can have the original prototype, and then when it pretty much went berserk and got refurbished, the other one. A lot to build on these guys. Like I said, it's beautiful. There's a lot to do on it. You can do a lot of essentially you can also dry brush it up, you know, a lot. But the panel lining, of course, that's what I did a little bit, only a little bit, and I did some slight differences like in my own mind to differentiate them. Like for example, the original had a few different markings than the final one, because in some instances I said, okay, what's the prototype? It wasn't maybe finished in that area. Or in the other one, it is the prototype, so these big green markings needed to have a bit more detail when you were looking at them, and a little bit of vice versa, you know? So we're gonna dive into that. Mind you, we're not gonna do everything on this. A lot of this is the same as on the EVA-01. You can check that review up there. And I also did a lot of build up of these guys. You can also find that up there. I will put that in there after a short while. These little title cards won't work if they are too close to each other. So hands are essentially the same. The articulation is exactly the same. A lot of this stuff is exactly the same. Essentially the shell changes up, and we have the positron cannon and the little armature for EVA-01, how he actually targets, I believe it was Ramiel. Yeah, it was Ramiel. So we're gonna check those out. I show you how it's best to exchange that, and we check the details out of these things and what I did for the knives and also for the positron rifle. Everything else in detail, what you can do with these guys, how these articulate, how they pose, also height and weight and posing options. This is pretty much all the same from the EVA-01, and they scale perfectly with those. So please don't take it too hard. This is not going to be a full review of all nooks and crannies. Like I said, exactly the same. So if you want to check that out, check that EVA-01 review. All right? So with that, let's just head top down. So this is essentially all that you get in the deluxe set. But mind you, this version not. You can build with one set either the one or the other. You cannot build both. You can switch back and forth by unplugging stuff and just having the one sit here and the other sit here. You can also mix and match. That is all in the possibilities, but you cannot build both of these in one set. Please be very mindful of that. I just built both, so I'm doing a twofer essentially for this. But for what is not shown here, of course you get two instructions, one for the simple one and one for the deluxe set. And for the deluxe set, it's a little bit thicker and it shows everything that you need to do. The instructions are absolutely idiot proof. It's a rough word, it's a hard word, it's a harsh word, I know that, but it is true, it's idiot proof. I never built professional Gundam in my life, only a KO before that, and it really gave me no problems. If you really check for details how stuff in which direction needs to go, like here, you will have absolutely 100% no problem. It's excellent, really, really cool. And on top of that, you will see a few details here of the weapons with the positron rifle, articulation examples on the moving check here, that's cool. And also the differences with the apostrophe unit 00 and without the apostrophe for the one without the pylons. So everything is divided or set apart nicely, so you have no problems, and you will get the assembly that's on top of that, of course, for the positron rifle in here. Also having no problems, and in the back full sticker instructions if you want to sticker the whole thing up. Zero gripes. For representation of which hands these guys come with, I took one of the sprues that I didn't completely, kind of set apart the hands from the sprue really from. So you will get weapon wielding hands, you will get holding hands, these close down here, you will get these kind of running hands, really athletic like, and you will get these posing hands. And also the pally rifle is still here, the second one. I don't know what to do with that. I have 2 already of these built, but this is how the hands are coming. And additionally, the yellow parts that you see here are next also additional parts that you will need to cut off a sprue and put in here, just so you know. I will just do a rough overview. Like I said, the build of this guy is the same as the EVA-01, so if you watch the first review, this is no surprise. Talking no surprises further, we got a sticker sheet, and even the red dots on the hands that I did like this here with a marker are little stickers. These are rough. I'm not using that. I recommend not doing that. Otherwise you will sit there pushing your thumb on there for half an hour and hoping it will stay, and it still won't stay. I tried it once. Not a recommend. Otherwise the marking are nice and sharp. You get one for the entry plug. Otherwise you can use it, so don't apply it or paint it like I did. The entry plug is also in here. We'll show that in a bit. And markings for the pylons, for the abdominal parts, for the inner skeleton parts, for the knives, everything. So it's cool, it's kind of fun, but it's also rough, but you have only one try. So if you want to check that, do it at your own risk, please. Next up, of course, we get the umbilical cable. This is a little rough for the focus, but I think it's clear. We have one cable running all through. It's an actual cable, so you can bend it any way you want. I put that in the shape because I had the one on the outside going around to just make it this little bit of equipment. I will show that to you in a little bit. And you assemble it the same way, all cut from the sprue and then assembled. And it plugs in the same way as before. There's no rocket science. You have the plug, you have the actual port, and then it lies in there, which of course goes for both. So next up we have the first weapon. That's a pally rifle. We have the red part in there that's going, and it's all built. This is the greatest part. This is all built. This is all one built part. It's super fun. On the other side we have the sticker here for the nerf. That's all really, if you really rub it down, it almost gets invisible, the borders that is. There's also stuff to be coming on the nozzle on the front. It's weird, I'm not doing that. Sticker on the chrome inside, orange here, so that's cool. Build is fun, and essentially the same as the EVA-01. You have the hand, one half wraps around here with the finger going in on the trigger, and the other side packs around it, so it's really safe in there. Like I said, no rocket science, all the same as before as on the EVA-01. Then we got multiple knives. I believe all in all 3 unfolded and 3 folded. The thing is, they are not painted. I painted them myself. I took the silver chrome pencil, almost chrome pencil by Edding. It's a German company. There's also one out there called Molotov, and it's done exactly the same, but it's getting tacky. So if you paint it, leave it on the sprue for, I would say, minimum a week, so it really shines still and you have a nice blade here. I also primed the red part below there with white and put red over there and a little bit of brown on the grip, so you have it like this, and same on the extended one, on the actual unfolded one. So I think that looks cool, and yeah, makes for a hell of a display. And here you got said display. Sorry, I had my microphone away already, so I took this level to have the equipment kind of shown, a little bit displayed, and then an extra acrylic plate with clamps for the, I think it's for yacht utilities, and the Evangelions on top, like an actual hangar. That's also what I did with these guys here, so I think that makes for quite the display. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this. Last one, we got this armature, and it's actually not for the EVA-00, but for the EVA-01, and it's got a sticker on top of here, and an antenna or a radar dish, and the targeting mount that's going on the front here. It's very, very rough to really pose the EVA-01 with the gun, but if you got the EVA-01, you see where this is going. We have the purple pylon here, and this is on the back. So you essentially, you take this. I was thinking of not doing it, but I want to actually show it. You unpack this whole piece from here. Yeah, I think I already did it wrong. Yum, 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 yum. Let me just check real quick. It's been a while since I've done this. Right, now I got it. What I did was already actually right. You need to unplug it, so this stays here. On the original pylon, this you don't need. What you need is this little part for the actual joint, and this one goes back in here, and this one then plugs in here, and I believe even this one goes again over here, meaning you need to unplug this, and this will stay there, and you will have this still as a frame. There it is, that way around, like so. And then you got this, and afterwards you pack in together the targeting mechanism like this, and then you pack it back in on the top here. It's a little rough because of course we got a ball joint in here. This will now unnecessarily spread the review, probably, but I think this is important. So you pack it in here as deep as it goes, and then you have this targeting mechanism, and you can fold it up. You will have all of this here pretty clear, but this is all folded or closed down, and once you want to pose him with a positron rifle, you fold this down in front of his face and he can actually target Romeo. So that is actually pretty cool. It's a little bit, disassemble and assemble needed, but the possibility and how it's done is actually fairly cool. And I didn't show that, but as you can see, I just took it back to the original configuration. So this is no problem. It's a little finicky, but the option is cool. And the final bit is the big and beautiful positron cannon, and this I actually painted and stickered up fully. Did a lot of panel lining here on the actual chain drive and on the ladders, on the doors here. Put the stickers up here, more black in here, red in here a little bit. I rubbed this off with my own finger. That worked actually the best. And we have a lot of stickers in here on the back to actually hold it in place, with nerf here, black here. And just, these were actually also gray. I blacked that up fully because this is what it's supposed to look like on the show, with a little bit more panel lining in here. No articulation in here, sadly, but it looks great, and you can paint it up fully. Also the little hydraulics here, so a lot possible with this if you got the patience. And finally, we're left with these two ladies, and of course it's Lilith's soul, I believe that was it. And she's cloned from Adam, but she has Lilith's soul. There's a lot of fucked up stuff in that story. If you want the full story with all the bits and pieces, you check the original series. If you want it a little bit simpler on the explanation what these guys are, but a little bit more fucked up in the overall story, you check out the Rebuild movies. So there you go. This is the original prototype before she went berserk and then pretty much tried to smash her head in on the front where Gendo Ikari was standing, but let's check her out real quick. We have a different chest. This is simpler and a little bit more deflated, and this has these two white bulges in the front, orange here, this here is red, and no pylons, and these actually close down a little bit nicer. That's cool. Articulation on these guys is all the same. So there's a lot possible, even if you take the legs forward and then to the side, you can give her a full split. Just a slight explanation of what you are able to see and to do with these guys. Everything else, like I told you, please check the EVA-01. Frame-wise, these are all the same. But we got great color. I love the color palette on these guys, with the yellow here, white, red, green on the big kind of, I don't know, loop on the top, with black here, the green sticker. A little bit more explanation I put on the outside here because this is the prototype, a little less because this is the finished one on here. So I think that's cool. Bigger sticker on the shoulder here, works nicely. If you rub it down nicely, it's near invisible. Very cool. I like that. Little panel lining here on the black, on the yellow, on the white, and on the yellow here with black lines. That's what I meant to say. And also a little bit black on the inside here. This is painted by me. This is not on the actual model. It's gray in there, usual. And yeah, double jointed knee, folds down nicely. So there's a lot you can do. And I believe these are immensely cool. They look fine. Entry plug piece actually opens up to the back and also to the top. And then if you open that up, you got the entry plug here. It's not 100% faithful how it should look. The colors are a little darker. That's all I had. It's also the best of the markers I could actually find. But put green on there, put red on there, orange on there. And the scuffed up markings look actually not that bad, but as you see, it's super small. They're a little over 2 centimeters tall maybe. And you need to put them in there with the green part on the top, really inside the hole, and it slides right in there, and you can close it down. This one forward, down, and the head back. Very, very nice, very cool. Little detail on the back, so there's a lot you can do without it. Same essentially on her. Most of this guy, or of this lady, of this girl, of this gal, is actually the same. We have white here on the thighs, on the prototype, and gray on her. And the pylons, and same as in the EVA-01, you can open that up and store the folded knife in there, just real quick so you see. I'm not going to do that because it's rough to get them out there, but it's possible. So that's cool. And yeah, it's just a lot possible with those, man. Like I said, articulation and everything is the same. The building mechanism of these guys is the same, and they are just really, really beautiful. So I implore you, if you like model kits and you want to build such stuff yourself, you're not happy with the finished ones, factory finished ones you can buy, and you always wanted to build that stuff on your own because you're into that, please give these guys a check. These are amazing. They're super fun. Super easy actually, but they make your while very, very, very worth, and you can do a lot of stuff with them panel lining wise and sticker wise. You can keep them simple like I did to have it more akin to the show, or you can actually have them all stickered up like a full-blown Gundam essentially, you know? Like I said, articulation, height, weight, comparisons, everything else you can find on the EVA-01. These scale with them perfectly. That's pretty much all I got for today. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope Final Score also gives you a little bit of knowledge if you like it. And there it was, people, Bandai's excellent real grade EVA-00. Question of course remains, I'll keep it that way, okay? Is it good? And the answer is yes. Mind you, first, no cat score today. On movies and on these pieces, she is always telling me like, what the fuck you want from me? Like from Transformers and overall, already weird, you know, always like, ah, yeah, it's okay. But on these, like, totally like, sorry about that. So, to take a little bit of criticism, I'm not going to go through all the categories because I pretty much told you everything there is. For a slight summary of if these guys are good, yes, Bandai updated this guy great from the EVA-01. They got rid of a few weaknesses, like a few, I don't know if I should say joint weaknesses, because they were weak in one instance, like the foot, the right foot that is, on my EVA-01, but it's not too bad, you know? So they tightened that up a slight bit. And the interconnecting piece on the shoulder of the EVA-01 on the new one, I believe it is, no, the other one, this year. They could have done it the same with this, and they didn't. So I applaud them for that. That is great. Also great accessories. Still a little bit bare bones, and I think it's bad that you have to get this and this to have the full experience, but it's still good, but there's still stuff missing, like the handcuffs and the little cross in the back that, I don't know, kind of stasis umbilical plug, let me call it that way, or stasis entry plug, more correctly. So a little bit bare bones, but I could see actually that there's actually weapon sets coming. Otherwise, everything, the build is excellent. We have great materials, the build is fun, great engineering, amazing articulation once you have finished. Getting through the progress is super fun. The proportions of these guys are perfect, like really slender as in the show. Few more mechanical details, of course. Bing! What was that? Ah, go friend of mine. Sorry, should have muted that. Where was I? Right, a little bit more mechanical details because, of course, due to the inner skeleton, but that's not a problem, you know. So, and also price-wise, it's not like Soul of Shogoken where it's actually costing 150 to 200. You can get both of these sets on TF Robots for, let me lie, 150. All in all, the one is around 60 to 70, the other is around 80 to 90. So that's a very good price. That's a very good price, and you can do a lot with it, and it's a lot of fun. So, oh, materials. Excellent. I don't think on this anything will ever break. So otherwise, I would say everything else was in the review itself. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I could help you. I'm super looking forward to the EVA-02 that's coming soon. Wondering what that kind of a deluxe set is, will you be getting, or will she be getting? And also for the Mark 8, what that's gonna be. But that's still a little bit in the future. Maybe this year still, we'll see. Otherwise, hope you have a great week. Hope to catch you on the next one. Be good, be well. Bye-bye.